Meet John, a longtime subscriber. In high school, he ran 10.4 in the 100 meters. This is not unheard of, but the crazy part is that John didn't even have that much time to train before his track season because he was on the basketball team. Once his basketball season ended, he only had a few weeks to prepare for track season and spent a lot of that time doing plyometrics. He was a very bouncy person and doubled down on that. If you want to do the same, here's how to get started. According to this research paper by Baxter and colleagues 2020, double leg forward hops show relatively high level stimulation for the Achilles tendon when compared to over 25 different movements, with calf raises near the bottom of the list. And if you really want the greatest amount of Achilles activation, you can add single leg forward hops. The problem is you do not want to overdo it. Here's an example if you want to get started with double leg forward hops. 10 forward hops, 2 to 3 sets, once per week. To make this easier on the body, you can do this on grass to reduce the stress on your joints and tendons at first. Even Usain Bolt once said that you cannot always train on the track because it puts a lot of stress on the shins. The takeaway here is don't ignore your strengths. Consider the sports and activities you are already familiar with. A swimmer might have better cardiovascular endurance. A football player might have more strength than the average individual. And a baseball player might have better coordination. Robin is one of our Sprint Club members from Estonia that improved his top speed from 20.7 to 22.2 miles per hour in 1 month. In a 10-meter fly time, that would equal to going from 108 to about 101. The problem is that when I first met him, he had what we call short sprint syndrome. This means that his body was only able to run fast for a very short distance. Before track, Robin spent a great amount of time playing basketball and football. In those sports, the body only has to accelerate for a few meters and has to conserve energy to last an entire match. During a 100-meter dash, a sprinter typically accelerates for around 60 meters. Because of how Robin trained for so many years, his body was not designed to accelerate beyond a short distance in order to conserve energy. As a result, we noticed that his speed was peaking around 40 meters. Robin decided on his own to decrease his football and basketball time in order to prioritize track. We worked on a sticking point, which was 30 and 40 meters. From doing this, he went from 20.7 to 22.2 miles per hour in just 1 month. The takeaway here is you should be frequently measuring your speed. You don't need a special timing system. You can use your phone's timer or just film yourself to measure your sprints. For example, let's say we film a 10-meter split. Then we open the video in a free sports app like OnForm. From there, we can mark the beginning to start the clock and then stop the clock once the athlete reaches the 10-meter marker. Last thing you want to do is show up to a meet after 6 months of training and find out you've gotten slower. This is Robert, one of our Sprint Club athletes from Germany, and he went from 12:42 last year to 11:83 this year at 39 years old. One of the things we helped him out with early on was his posture. A tall and relaxed position allows a sprinter to put more power into the ground and use their energy efficiently. Look at a basketball player jumping up towards the hoop, full extension through the body. A football player doing a broad jump, full extension through the body. The point is, humans fully extend when generating maximum power and strength. The idea is the same with a sprint. Having full extension allows you to use more of your existing power. Before hitting the weights, check out your posture. Get into a running pose and bring one knee up into the air. Are the shoulders rounded? Bring them back. Are the hips anteriorly rotated? Contract the glute to bring them into neutral. Is the leg struggling to straighten out, or is it mostly straight? To make this even better, you can hold a stick behind your back to reinforce correct posture without the help of anyone else correcting you. And if you want to make it even easier, just get in front of a wall and see if you can place most of your body against it. At 39, Robert feels better than ever.
I went into my training hall with a camera, which is also very important information that you share all the time. Take videos of your technique. Really, it just took me 1 day fixing that posture problem. 1 day. Or I proposed 1 week. Never. This will cost you years. Actually, it was 1 day.
Let me ask you a question. What if you could work with an Olympic speed coach for a day entirely for free? To my knowledge, what we are about to do has never been done before. We are flying out our Olympic coach from the Spring Club to train someone in the USA 100% for free. All you have to do is send us a quick video about how our content has helped you run faster. The winner will get a chance to train in person with Window, have their technique analyzed, and learn speed secrets that we don't share publicly. To learn more, click the link down below. Good luck. Evan is one of our Spring Club athletes who goes to Springfield University, and he recently set a school record this past season in the indoor 200 meters with a time of 21:68. During our New York City meetup, one of the things that I observed from him was that his anti-rotational strength was very high. If you're not sure what anti-rotation is, that refers to the ability for the core to resist rotation to the side. Especially during the curve of a 200 or 400 race, it is important that the body can resist rotation, even more if you're running indoors. If you want to work on this, start with something simple like a pad-off press. For this, you can select a weight on the cable machine, hold the cable in your hand, and extend your arms out. As it gets easier, increase the amount of weight and or time. Then, to make it even better, switch over to a band and do quick fast reps to mimic the rapid stress of a sprint on the core. And if you want to make it even harder, you can completely remove the legs and get into a kneeling position to increase the hip flexor and glute activation as well. This is Andrew O'Donnell from Connecticut, one of Window's athletes who went from 50.3 to 47.8 in the 400 meters in high school. In the 200 and 400, a lot of sprinters think that just to become faster, they need to work on speed endurance so that they can endure more. But to quote Dan Pat from Altis, if there is no speed, there is nothing to endure. Window actually had Andrew do the opposite, and he had him do short distance speed work. Andrew's biggest problem was that he was doing too much long distance work prior. In that process, working with Window, he actually dropped his 40-yard dash from 4.7 to 4.47. Not too many athletes would consider improving their 40 as a way to drop their 400, but that's exactly what they did. His 100-meter time also dropped from 11:29 to 10:63 fully automatic. If we look at the 400-meter world record holder, we see that as his 0 to 100-meter split time dropped, so did his overall 400 time. His 100 to 200 split even went into the 9s. Turns out running faster helps you run faster. Who knew? Whether it's a football athlete trying to improve their 40-yard or a sprinter trying to improve their 400, we believe in doing top speed with full recovery. Consider whether or not you're doing enough pure speed training, especially if you're a 200 or 400 sprinter. Christina Trucks just broke the 4x2 and the 4x4 indoor world record for the 40-year-old female group. Her track story is not very common. Despite doing sports most of her life, she didn't start doing track until a few years ago. One day she was looking for a hurdle coach for her son, and that coach introduced her to the world of masters track and field. He invited her to train with the junior college track team, and the rest is history. Almost from the beginning, she felt right at home on the track, keeping up with the junior college track team as if it was nothing, despite approaching 40. However, it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. Over the last 2 years, she has dealt with injuries on and off. As a result, she recently started working with our Olympic coach, Window. One of the things that Window changed from her program is that she has less sprinting volume now. There is an inverse relationship between speed and how much you train. The more you train throughout the week, the more tired you become, so your speed naturally decreases. If you're already training a lot, but you're not getting great results, consider cutting the volume while keeping the intensity about the same. For example, if you're sprinting twice per week for a total of 1,600 meters of speed work at 90 to 95% effort per session, one thing you could do is cut that down to 800 meters at 95 to 100% effort. With this approach, you can decrease the amount of sprinting volume while actually increasing the speed of each rep. As a result of working one-on-one with the Sprint Club's Olympic coach Wendell Dickinson, Christina Trucks broke the 400-meter American record for her age group. It was held for 8 years by Latricia Dendy at 56.90. Christina Trucks ran 56.51. We wish her the best on her journey to show the world that no matter the age, we are not done yet. If all these stories are inspiring you to chase your own goals and dreams, then don't forget, you can actually win a chance to train with the Sprint Club's Olympic coach Wendell 100% for free. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about how the feet affect your speed, including one test that you can do right now to see if weak feet are holding you back, then click here.